The founder of Terra, Kwon, has a plan. Terra 2.0 is coming, but will it work? He put out a tweet stating that Terra is more than UST, but this is simply not true. UST, an algorithmic stablecoin, is the very reason that Terra ever made the top 10. There is no other reason. It is all about UST. But moving forward, Do Kwon wants it to be about more than UST. He wants the Terra ecosystem to have apps, NFTs, games, decentralized exchanges, infrastructure, and the list goes on. But he himself knows that at this very moment, it's all about UST. Even if we look at his Twitter bio, it says master of stablecoins. But the plan, or the proposed plan, is to fork Terra into a new chain. And the old chain that we know today would be known as Luna Classic, and the new chain would be known as Luna. So although it would share the same name, it is actually the new chain. And to do this, you need developers to want to build in the Terra ecosystem, right? So the old chain, Luna Classic, would be forgotten about. It would have UST. The new chain would not have UST. The goal there would be to build. So on Terra.money, Do Kwon put out a proposal for the revival plan. And he did make a good point. He said, although distressed, strong brand recognition and a name that almost everyone in the world will have heard about will play a key role in building on Terra. Yes, we all know about Terra today because, of course, it was such a big coin by market cap and, of course, what happened after. They do have that brand recognition, but will developers want to stay? Or will they go to other competing blockchains? And there are already blockchains that are trying to incentivize these developers to come to their chain. Phantom put out a tweet saying, come to our chain. We have 100% uptime. We're fast, low cost, and reliable. VeChain also put out a tweet, which I think is maybe a joke. They said they're offering up to $30,000 to help. $30,000 in the crypto space can't even get you half a developer. But the bottom line here is that there are developers, but other blockchains are trying to take them away from Terra. Now, when it comes to this new chain, Luna, right? We're calling it Terra Luna 2.0, but really in the end, it's going to be called Luna. If this actually goes through, this will happen on May 27th. And the reason why I said if this goes through is because right now, not everyone is in agreement. A poll was put on Terra.money, and 90% of people as of now are against the fork. They have said no. So we don't even know if this fork will go through, because when you fork a blockchain, it's not up to one person. It's not up to just Do Kwon. You need consensus from the network. So if it does go through, this will happen on May 27th. And the new chain will have 1 billion tokens, with a small percentage going to developers so that they can start building right away. Remember, the goal here is to have a new chain without UST, right? UST was a failed experiment. And on this new chain, it will be about building, just like we have apps on Ethereum and Solana. So a small percentage will be given to these developers early on to build. And we have to ask ourselves, will these tokens even have money, right? If they are airdropped, these tokens to spend, to build, will they even have any value at the beginning? I mean, this is something we'll have to find out if this goes through. And now what about for people that were holding Terra and UST prior to the depegging attack? So those that were holding prior to the attack, 35% of the tokens will be airdropped to them based off of a snapshot taken on May 7th. Now, here's the thing. These funds will not be available to use immediately. For example, for wallets under 1 million Luna, there will be a 1-year cliff and a 2-year vesting thereafter, meaning that even if this goes through, people that get these tokens won't be able to spend them right away. And we also have to ask the question if these tokens will even have value when they are airdropped. And then there will also be tokens airdropped to people holding Luna and UST during the launch on May 27th. So 10% will be given to Luna holders at the launch snapshot, and 25% will be given to UST holders at the launch snapshot. Again, if this goes through, there's no guarantee that this hard fork will happen. And if this hard fork actually does happen, the main question is, again, will it actually work? Because usually hard fork chains are not successful. But what some people are doing right now, actually not some, many people are doing, is comparing this to Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Because actually, the Ethereum that we know today is a hard fork. The true original Ethereum is Ethereum Classic. But in 2016, after the DAO hack, there was a hard fork into what we know today as Ethereum, becoming one of the most successful blockchains. So every time we see a hard fork, people will compare it to Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, saying, hey, if it worked with Ethereum, it can work today, for example, in 2021 or 2022 or moving forward in 2023, except it was a different time back then in 2016. There weren't really any blockchains, right? If you didn't use Ethereum, then what else would you use? But here we are in 2022. And if you are part of a blockchain, if you are a developer on a blockchain and there is an attack or it's not going well, you're not stuck with one option. There are so many different options. So will Luna developers stay, or will they migrate to Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Avalanche, Tron, Polygon, Near Protocol, Algorand, and the list goes on. There are so many different options. So when people compare this to Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, I think that it is not a good comparison because it was a totally different time back then. And when it comes to this entire situation we're talking about right now, there are also potential legal implications. South Korean politicians are calling for Do Kwon to attend a hearing on Terra USD's collapse. Right now, governments and countries are paying attention. There's a lot of confusion right now on whether this was malicious or negligent, because it does really seem like Do Kwon really believed in this project. I mean, he even named his daughter Luna. So it does seem like he really believed in this project and it was not malicious. But in the end, many people were wrecked. Many people lost money. And there are people, unfortunately, who have committed suicide due to losing so much money during this depegging, and many investors lost money in this crash. Do Kwon is in a very dangerous situation, a very bad position, and we're even seeing people breaking into his home, which we recently found out was an investor who lost 2.3 million during the Luna crash. So right now he is in this very tough position, and he's trying to come up with a way to reinvent Luna. But the way I see it is, this isn't a great plan. I don't think this is going to work. This is my opinion. Of course, I can't predict the future. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I don't think that this is a great idea. And also, it doesn't seem like most people do, which is why currently on Terra.money, 90% of people are saying no to the hard fork. Even if it does go through, will these tokens have value? Will exchanges list them even? Because in the end, crypto is not as decentralized as we think because we have many centralized parties in crypto that make the magic happen. Exchanges can simply decide to delist these tokens from the exchange.